welcome to another episode of Bottom of the Stream with Adam and Nick. My name is Adam.
My name is Nick. Welcome back. This is the best place to get up to date with all the big stories of the week
That's what they say.
in the world of streaming and movies.
Absolutely. How are you, Nick?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm also very good, thank you very much.
Excellent.
Yeah?
Good. I feel like I'm on the mend a bit. I still don't sound my usual normal self, but
You've got a bit more colour in your cheeks.
By the time we got to the end of the podcast episode last week,
you were struggling.
I was struggling.
Yeah, you can hear it in the
remember
episode as well.
Anything we said about when we were actually talking about what we thought of the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you still don't know what I think of that movie?
I've not listened to the episode.
You're going to have to listen to the episode. For the record, it was shit. Good. I'm glad to hear you're getting a bit better.
Yeah. We'll be okay. How are you?
I'm also all right. Yeah. Not bad at all.
I think, firstly, the question everyone wants the answer to.
Okay.
Any ghost updates?
I've not had anything this week.
Okay.
In here. It's been a quiet week.
The Spectre.
The Spectre is resting.
Is resting.
Yes, it seems to be.
Okay.
Yeah, no updates, I'm afraid.
Okay. Maybe it's gone to hibernation because the clocks went forward this week.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe it's a winter ghost only. Is that how ghosts work?
Could be.
I mean, no one knows how they work, do they? That's kind of the whole thing.
Yeah. No, I've not had no updates on that, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Everything's glorious.
Right.
As far as ghosts go.
Fine.
You've
cool.
Been up to much?
No. Well, I was mostly being ill, so
yeah.
I didn't even go out to the family meal on when was it? Saturday evening.
Oh, really?
For my mother-in-law's Mother's Day meal. I was on the sofa.
That's just because it's your mother-in-law, though, isn't it? I can't blame you.
I mean, my football team was playing on TV, so but that was
what a surprise.
But that was mostly
just a happy accident.
Yeah, exactly. So,
wow, you must have been bad if you're turning down food, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're feeling a bit better.
Shall we crack on with a question of the week?
Let's do it.
This is a holdover from last week when I said I've got two.
You did, yes, and then we didn't have time to do the second one.
We ended up talking for far too long.
Yes.
Well, not too long.
Well, longer than normal. Yeah.
So it's about one of our favourite subjects who I feel we've not really talked about much recently.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you an offer. Well, I'm not going to give you an offer. A mad scientist offers to make you immortal.
Okay.
But there is a catch.
Right.
To become immortal, you must randomly switch bodies once a year for a random amount of time.
Right.
With Nicolas Cage.
Okay.
Would you accept?
So, no specified amount of time.
No.
But it has to happen every year.
Yes.
Okay.
Could be a week, could be a couple of hours.
Right.
Could be longer.
Could be 6 months.
Yeah, sure.
And
he would be in your body.
He would be in my body and I would be in his body.
Yeah.
But I'd still have my consciousness.
Yes. It's like Freaky Friday, but with Nicolas Cage.
Is he immortal as well?
Because I mean, it's Nicolas Cage, so who knows? I mean, he might already have done that. I'm just thinking,
have I only got to do this for like 15 years of my immortality, or are we both?
No. So I'm right. I'm adapting this.
Okay.
I will say it's for the rest of your immortality.
But what if he's got to be immortal as well?
Or you can still go into him.
He'd just be dead.
Yeah.
So I get to experience being dead for a nondescript amount of time during my immortality.
Or you can make Nicolas Cage immortal if you want. I think.
It just makes more sense to either he is or isn't.
He is fine. You're both entered this deal.
Okay, I think there comes a point during our immortality that we have to find each other.
You'd have it down to a fine art eventually.
Yes.
But yeah, I think so. I think if you'd want to meet to discuss this when you were
and you'd also be the only two people that you both know.
Yeah.
After in 300 years' time, we're going to need each other to get through this.
Because the first few times, it's going to be chaos.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Does he know it's coming? Does anybody know it's coming? Do I know when it's going to happen?
If I said to Nicolas Cage, no offence to you.
You've got to change bodies with this random podcast.
Exactly. No offence for you. If I said to Nicolas Cage, you can become immortal, but you have to exchange bodies once a year for a random amount of time with Adam, who presents Bottom of the Stream.
I feel like Nick Cage would be up for it.
No, I think he would be up for it, but It's not going to mean as much.
That's the next question then. Do we both get the choice of this? Because you're asking me this.
Yeah.
Is he going to be against this idea?
Oh, fine.
It's going to just happen to him, isn't it?
Yeah, that's fine.
It's just happening to him. He hasn't got a choice.
Yeah, let's make that happen then.
Okay. Oh, yeah, but then he could destroy my body or do stuff to me. If he's not happy about it, he could like chop my ear off or something.
The risk is these first few times it happens.
Yeah.
Because once you're, I don't know, 20 years in, you've got a pattern, you know. Like you say, you're going to need to contact at some point.
Yeah, we are going to need to be in touch.
Talk the logistics through. Yeah. But you can't, the first couple of times, that's not going to happen.
No. I think I'm going to turn this down.
That's the high risk.
I think I have to turn this down.
Because you're right, Nicolas Cage might drop into you.
Yeah, and go.
And just fuck you up.
He might chop my arm off.
Yeah, exactly. Because he doesn't know what's happening.
No.
He's like,
then I have to be immortal without an arm.
Where's my mansion gone with my Tyrannosaurus Rex?
He also could be right in the middle of filming a really difficult film that I wouldn't have a clue what I was doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I can pretend to be Nick Cage.
Yeah.
And also, I don't particularly want to be immortal.
Oh, well, that's pretty much the central conceit.
Yeah. No, I think I would turn it down.
Yeah. Okay.
That's too. I mean, if it's only an hour or so, fair, but there's a risk there that it's 8 months.
Immortality is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's like the sort of inquisitive part of you is like, yeah, I want to find out what happens.
Yeah.
Through the rest of space and time. But then there's the old, well, everyone I know always dies.
Exactly.
And then what happens when everything blows up? Are you still floating around?
Exactly. That's the thing, isn't it? It's like when everything does eventually go.
You're just floating around in space.
What, you're just floating around in space alive and in agony the whole time? Yeah. It sounds worse. It sounds better than it is.
Forever is a... People throw that around, don't they?
Yeah.
Immortality, forever. That's a long time.
Yeah. There's nothing longer.
I know it sounds obvious, but it's a concept that people can't really grasp.
You could theoretically end up being the last person on Earth if we all get wiped out by something.
Yeah. Well, you and Nick Cage.
Me and Nick Cage. Then we'd have to find
floating in space.
That's a movie, though, isn't it? That sounds like a Nick Cage movie. It's like it's like changing places every so often, and then all of a sudden you're the last two alive. You have to find each other. There's a movie in that.
Yeah.
No, I don't want it.
Okay.
Good question though, but not for me.
I think that's a very noble answer. I just noticed one of your Funkos is face down.
Oh no, Negan's dead.
So, ghost.
Sheldon's facing the wrong way.
Yeah, he's seen the ghost. He's like Blair Witching.
I'll dispel the ghost rumours. That's the chair that does that.
Okay,
fine. In and out. Those four always get knocked flying.
Right.
Cool. Thanks for spotting.
Good. That's fine. It's fine. Just tidy up the place while we're here. So, should we get on to the news?
Yes, let's do some news.
Requires me being on another thing, and I'm not.
You need to be more prepared.
I know. Okay. So, actually, I think this is an absolutely fascinating story to lead with.
Okay.
Which Netflix has had something fall into their lap.
Right.
Really.
Okay.
And so, a bit of context first. So, we're going to talk about Quentin Tarantino.
Okay.
And he has for a long time said that he's got one more movie. He wants to do one more movie.
Yes, he's always said that.
And he was also... So one of the thoughts was, for a long time, his last movie would be a movie called The Movie Critic.
Yes.
Which includes in it the character that Brad Pitt played in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And Cliff Booth, the stuntman. And the script for The Movie Critic leaked.
Yes.
And Tarantino was like, I don't know if I want to make that anymore. And then he revealed he was going to write it as a novel.
Yeah.
Well, there has been a development.
Okay.
This movie critic movie script has apparently been retooled slightly.
Okay.
Into Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the sequel.
Oh, okay.
And Brad Pitt according to Variety, convinced Quentin Tarantino to let David Fincher read this script.
Right.
And they are moving forward with the sequel.
Okay.
Quentin Tarantino's written or writing it,
Yeah.
and David Fincher will direct it.
Wow.
What company has David Fincher got an exclusivity deal with?
Netflix.
Indeed.
Wow. That has really fallen in their lap.
Yeah. So potentially, if this all does fall into place, Netflix will have the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel, written by, but not directed by, Quentin Tarantino.
But directed by
Because
Fincher.
He will take up whatever project will be his last movie,
All right.
and hand the reins of this one over.
That's insane.
Yeah, what a chain of events.
That's like...
Not the first time for Tarantino, obviously. From Dusk Till Dawn,
Yeah.
he wrote that,
He
didn't
did.
direct it. True Romance, wrote that, didn't direct it. Back in his early days. So, yeah, that's quite the domino effect.
That's like... Yeah, that's like a movie in itself.
Yeah.
And that's how it works out.
Um,
Netflix must be rubbing their hands together.
Sure, yeah. So, yeah, Fincher's got an exclusive first look deal with Netflix. So, I'm sure there'll be a bit of
Yeah, they're not going to turn
legal
that one down, are
wranglings
they?
for Tarantino to handle that over, but I'm sure they'll give him a lovely check.
I'm sure they will.
So, yeah.
Well, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's on Netflix anyway at the minute.
Yes, it is, and it has been for quite some time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Tarantino's obviously wasn't quite willing to let that one go completely, but they've kind of found a way forward. That
Those two working together is an interesting concept. I like it. I'm intrigued. I need to watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I really need to watch it. I don't know why I've never watched it.
You do. It's good. It's good.
I do. Maybe I'll watch it at the weekend.
Okay, fine. So yeah, that's really interesting.
That is really interesting. Yeah, I'll definitely keep abreast of the news on that. 'Cause, I'm sure there'll be lots more coming. Is Brad Pitt going to be in it? I suppose he's got to be. If it's about his character.
Yeah.
Fincher, Pitt, Tarantino.
Yeah.
Wow.
All working together
It'll probably be
with
terrible.
Netflix. Okay, so
Cool, that is really interesting.
news that I think this is something we need to go and do some research on,
Okay.
because call me cynical,
You're cynical.
thanks, but I'm not quite sure of this claim.
Right.
So Netflix have announced this week that they have expanded their subtitle and dubbing options
Right. Okay.
across content. They have said that now, essentially, you can, whilst watching Netflix on your TV, you can now pick your subtitle and dubbing options on all titles.
Right.
And I'm not sure that's right.
Do they mean there is an option for something on everything, but not everything on everything?
That's what I think they mean.
Okay.
But we need to investigate into this. Because there's loads of stuff we've seen that
we've
has
seen
some options,
Yeah.
but not all options.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they mean everything's going to have all 30 whatever languages currently available on Netflix.
It
to
can't
pick
do,
from.
can it?
Because we've only just started to talk about AI dubbing in the last few weeks.
And suddenly it's... I wonder if I can get onto
Um,
Netflix on here and just see.
So they've even released a nice little video which shows you, I think they've used a clip from Bridgerton as an example. You can pick subtitles from one of, like, say, 30 to 40 languages.
Yeah.
And the same with the dub. And you can have so you can have a Portuguese dub with South Korean subtitles.
Okay.
You can mix and match as well
I'm intrigued by this.
if you wanted to.
Can you think of a film that we've done that didn't have any any dubbing?
Oh, what you doing that for me? There's been some this season, but I can't remember what. So I'll read the quote from Netflix, and I think you'll see why I'm slightly confused with this. So it says, as more of our members enjoy shows and films from around the world, nearly a third of all viewing on Netflix is for non-English stories. Subtitles and dubbing are more important than ever. And that is why, starting on April the 2nd, you'll be able to pick from the full list of available languages for any title whilst watching Netflix on your TV. This much anticipated feature of language availability carries over the experience members already enjoy on mobile devices and web browsers. I don't think that means
I don't either.
all languages available
Sorry.
on all titles. I don't think that means all languages available on all titles.
Nor do I, but let's just have a quick look at this one. No, it doesn't. So I've just picked Elementary.
Yes.
So I remember that not having a dub, and it doesn't have a dub on here.
Yeah.
It does have subtitles, but there's only like 5 different audio options.
What I think it means
is that there's something.
There are some options on everything,
yeah.
but that might only be Portuguese or French.
Yeah.
They're your 2 options for languages.
There's 3 different Spanish dubs on Elementary.
Exactly.
There's Basque, Spanish, and Spanish Latin America.
There you go. So I felt a little led down the garden path by that.
Yeah, that's
press
fake
release.
News.
But there we go.
I mean, at some point, I'm sure an AI dub will be available for everything.
Yeah, I think it was Amazon we were talking about who are trialing that as we speak. So, okay, a couple of bits of other Netflix news. So, Netflix have announced the release date of the 8th and final season of Big Mouth.
Oh, okay.
Will come to a close on May the 23rd.
Nice. I enjoy Big Mouth. I think it is time to end it.
Have you kept it all?
Yeah, I have. I think I've watched all of it.
With it.
But I think it is time to bring it to an end. It's got progressively sillier over the years.
Yeah. Do you want to know some of the guest voice cast for the season?
Yeah.
Cynthia Erivo.
Oh, okay.
Holly Hunter.
Nice.
Steve Buscemi.
Nice.
Kristen Wiig. Nathan Fillion. Ali Wong. Natasha Lyonne. Craig Robinson. All guest.
Nathan Fillion's been in it a lot.
Season.
Well,
they're counted as guest stars rather than...
Yeah, he's never been a main star.
Main cast, I guess.
One of the main characters has a crush on Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
That's cool. I've got a lot of time for Big Mouth. It is time to finish.
I think that's the most... I don't know if it is now with the 7, but by the time the 8th season is released, that will be the most seasons of an original Netflix animation.
Yeah.
So...
Cool.
Awesome. So that's something to look out for. And then the final bit of Netflix news, because we've got plenty of other news to come, but Stranger Things content.
Okay.
So, like, what's that horrible phrase? Ancillary content is coming.
Right.
This month, April the 15th, you can watch a Netflix documentary.
Right.
But not about Stranger Things, the TV show.
Okay.
It's a documentary about the Stranger Things West End show.
Okay. I was in London at the weekend, and that is advertised everywhere.
Yeah.
That is on every billboard. We should go. I'd be up for that.
Let's go. We'll sort it out.
Okay.
It's an off-camera thing. Yes. Stranger Things: The First Shadow is the name of the show. The documentary will be called Behind the Curtain.
Right.
Stranger Things: The First Shadow. It will follow the cast and crew of the West End hit in the lead up to opening night at the Phoenix Theatre in London. This is all happening basically because this show is opening in Broadway this year.
Right.
So I think it's to kind of generate a bit of momentum there. And obviously we will see the final season of Stranger Things this year.
Yeah, potentially. That's the rumour. Yeah, we should go. It'd be weird watching Stranger Things with a different cast, though.
It's prequel, isn't it? So it's young John Hopper and Winona Ryder's carries. All that sort of stuff.
All right. Okay.
So, yeah. Yes, very soon it starts. In fact, in Broadway, it opens on April the 22nd.
Okay.
So, just a week after.
Is it already shown in the West End?
Yeah, it has been for a year.
Oh, has it? Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, we'll look at some dates and when this finishes. We'll get it booked in.
Cool.
We could do a meet-up. Anybody want to come with?
Sure.
Come with us.
Sure. Do you want the synopsis of the play?
Yes.
Okay. Before the world turned upside down, Hawkins, 1959. A regular town with regular worries. Young Jim Hopper's car won't start. Bob Newby's sister won't take his radio show seriously. And Joyce Maldonado just wants to graduate and get the hell out of town. When a new student, Henry Creel, arrives, his family finds that a fresh start isn't so easy, and the shadows of the past have a very long reach.
It'd be funny if it's like nothing to do with anything to do with Stranger Things. It's just these people living their lives as normal. And then the Stranger Things events just happen 30 years later.
Ross Duffer, one of the Duffer brothers,
yes,
says the goal of the play is to enhance season 5.
Oh.
While season 5 explores Henry's backstory, the play provides a much deeper understanding of who he was and how and why he became Vecna. Spoilers for season 4 there, sorry.
That's fine.
That's 2
He
years
spoiled
ago.
it, you didn't.
Yeah.
You just read it.
Okay.
Cool, okay. That's exciting.
Nice. I'll check that out.
October, November, they're
sounds
saying
like an
the same
interesting-
Stranger Things, aren't they?
Yeah, I think
It's the rumour that's going around.
We got Squid Game 2 in June.
Yep.
Wednesday, TBD.
Yeah. But all coming this year. We know they're coming this year. We were
Strange Thing is going to bring up the rear.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I would say first part October, second part November.
Yeah.
That'd be my guess.
I reckon Wednesday, September-ish, maybe in the middle somewhere. Okay.
Have you seen the Lego Wednesday? I don't know if it's
Which
official
one?
or not, but I've seen one.
My daughter's got some.
Oh, was she?
Wednesday
I saw one
Lego.
with a thing.
It's like the dorm room.
I've seen a thing, but it's just a Lego hand. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. It's brilliant.
Nice. I did. Right, this is like off-piste, but there's, unlike my Instagram and stuff, so many, like, in the algorithms, Lego accounts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How come?
I don't know.
You into Lego?
That's not really. I mean, I like doing Lego.
Same.
I'd love to have enough money to have 1 million Lego sets.
Me too.
No, I don't know why.
That is weird.
It's just all cropped up. Anyway. Maybe it's a sign. Someone wants me to do more Lego. Okay, let's move on to movie news.
Okay.
Quite an interesting week in movie news. And for once, the rumour mill has been proven to be pretty much spot on.
Oh, really?
And that is because we have had the official announcement of the 4 stars of the upcoming Beatles cinematic universe.
I saw this. I saw the reveal.
And they were all
Who we thought they were.
exactly who the rumours had been. And what a cast this is. Harris Dickinson will play John Lennon.
Yes.
Paul Mescal will play Paul McCartney. Barry Keoghan will play Ringo Starr. And Joseph Quinn, George Harrison.
Wow. That's a cast.
It is a cast.
It's a proper cast.
And one new bit of news on this is that all 4 movies will arrive in April 2028.
Oh, okay. They're all coming at the same time?
Whether at the same time or
Within the
a
same,
week apart
within the same
each,
month.
they will all be released in April 2028.
Wow.
Theatrically,
Okay.
Sam Mendes who is directing them all, has stated they are trying to create the first bingeable theatrical experience.
Right. So maybe they will come out weekly. So you have to go. It's like a 4-episode miniseries, but you have to go to the cinema for all 4.
There's 2 options here.
Yeah.
They're either all going to come on the same day,
Yeah.
or they're going to come a week apart.
I don't think they're going to come on the same day.
No, because then you could choose which order
You're
to
losing
do
box
them in.
office, aren't you?
Yeah.
Whereas if you come in weekly, everybody's got to go to all 4.
And that's what I still want to know is, like, do they have a... We don't know how this is going to be laid out.
No.
Are they all going to be, like, you can watch them? Like, if someone goes, oh, God, really... I don't know who this weird person would be. But someone goes, I really want to watch a movie about Ringo Starr.
But I'm not bothered about the other.
Not
3.
interested in John Lennon whatsoever.
I'm thinking one long continuous story.
Through them. Threaded through them.
When each one's focused on a different person.
Yeah.
Like a bit like Lost, how every episode's like focuses on a different character, but the story's still progressing.
Yeah.
That's interesting though. That Sam Mendes is gonna make 4 films in 3 years.
Yeah, 3 April. Well, it's April. 3 years. 3 years time. They're hitting cinemas. Yeah.
I suppose you just make them all at once and just like they'd be the biggest movie shot ever, and then just cut them into 4 movies.
I like the Beatles.
Yep.
Is this too much?
Yeah. I think we've had this conversation before. Is 2028 some sort of Beatles anniversary, or
I don't know.
Assuming something's going on that year. I feel like we're going to hear a lot about those over the next few years. So that's 4 big names to be tied up over the next 3 years.
They feel. I mean, it's Sam Mendes.
Yeah.
British movies. It's about the Beatles.
Yeah.
It's just got awards guff.
Yeah.
Written all over it,
really
hasn't
has.
it?
Either that or they'll all be dreadful. Imagine if one of them's really good.
I was just gonna say, imagine if one's terrible. Like three of them are like, those three act amazingly, and one of them just drops an absolute bollock.
Yeah, that would be bad. It's like the Ringo Starr one is like the best film ever made, but the John Lennon one is dog shit.
Look, it's something new.
If you could only watch one of them, which one would you watch? Who had the most interesting life? Two of them are still going.
I mean, again, it depends on are they going to be their whole lives, or are we? Is it like it's got to be a period in
time, surely?
Yeah,
like how they got together or something. Or is it like their lives before the Beatles and then how they met and converged into one?
Yeah.
Don't know. We need more info. Get Sam Mendes on the phone. Ringo Starr's the most interesting Beatle, though.
I mean, I feel like the movie's probably not going to spend much time on like his years as narrating Thomas the Tank.
that was my first, that's when I first knew who Ringo Starr was.
I tell you what, though, and this is random, but it springs to mind that a couple of the best episodes of The Simpsons star Ringo Starr and Paul McCartney.
Very true.
One where like he's doing all the letters back to Marge Simpson. And then the Paul McCartney is the one where the pig goes flying through the air.
Oh, of course, yeah.
When Lisa's a vegetarian. Anyway. Okay. We're going to hear so much about those over the next 3 years.
Either that or we won't hear anything, and then they'll all just appear one day.
Yeah. Okay. It was a massive news week last week for Marvel. Obviously, the never-ending cast announcement for Avengers Doomsday.
Yep.
But splitting the two Avengers films, Doomsday and Secret Wars, will be Spider-Man 4.
Yep.
Tom Holland's fourth Spider-Man film.
Yep.
That has a title.
Okay.
Has been announced.
They got home in it?
No.
Oh.
It is Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Brand New Day. Okay.
Yeah.
All the others have got home in it.
They have, yeah. No, it will be Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Okay.
Will be directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, who directed Shang-Chi.
Good film.
We also said, didn't we, a couple of weeks ago, Sadie Sink has been cast.
Yes.
In this thing as well. And it has a release date of 31st of July 2026.
Okay, so only next year.
So just
it's a fast turnaround as well.
Yeah, it is. So
it
will literally be a couple of months after Doomsday.
Right.
And a year before the next Avengers film. So will it link the two? Possibly.
Yeah. Well, it's got to be set after Doomsday, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's quite the triple header, that is. I know we've said before, like, this whole Avengers thing is a total Hail Mary.
Yeah.
From, the MCU being absolutely in the doldrums. But then in the space of 12 months, that's their three biggest properties.
Yeah, definitely. They always seem to trust...
two biggest properties, three movies. Yeah. 2 Avengers movies and a Spider-Man movie.
They always seem to trust the Spider-Mans to go after the Avengers, don't they? That happened last time. Good. Well, that's what they need. At the end of the day, it needs regenerating, doesn't it? Rejuvenating.
Talking of... I should have put these two news bits together because I'm sure I could have done a cool link. So, the Beatles, 4 movies for the Beatles.
Yeah.
Well, the people behind the Michael Jackson biopic maybe saw that and went, well, we're not just doing one. Because the latest reporting from Variety is that the upcoming Michael Jackson biopic, directed by Antoine Fuqua, will now be split into 2 movies.
Right.
And its current release date of October the 3rd this year is likely to be pushed back.
Right, okay.
Due to this rescheduling. It has wrapped principal photography last year. But looks like it's going to be 2 movies.
They must have filmed a lot of stuff.
Just as a reminder, Jafar Jackson, Michael's nephew, making his big screen debut as Michael Jackson.
It's a lot of pressure.
Coleman Domingo and Nia Long will play Joe and Catherine Jackson, the parents. And Miles Teller, which I didn't think we knew, is also in this thing as Michael Jackson's attorney.
Oh, I don't think we did know that.
Yeah.
As attorney?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's loads to go there. No doubt there's enough material, but I think, this isn't going to go into the, shall we say, darker parts.
No,
of
I wouldn't have
Michael
thought.
Jackson's
I didn't
life.
think so until you just said there's an attorney cast and it's quite a big name.
No, but I think it'll be more
Like
that will be
assistant
him
kind
versus.
of guy.
No, that will be him. That will be concentrated on the family issues, sort of him versus his parents and things. That's not going to go into.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be playing him young, hasn't it?
Yeah,
'cause he's quite young himself.
Yeah.
So. Okay.
So yeah, two Jacko movies.
2 Jacko movies, 4 Beatles movies.
Yeah, they had a very successful business relationship, didn't they? Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson.
Yes.
In the 80s, they basically bought/gifted some of each other's songs
Yeah,
to
they
each
have
other
each other's content, don't
because
they?
they just didn't need enough more money.
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember that.
There you go. Okay, more sequel news. I know this will excite you.
Okay.
It's been more than 20 years,
Right.
but finally, we're getting a 4th movie in the Friday franchise.
Oh,
Ice Cube has confirmed
okay.
that work has started on the 4th movie. Yeah.
Who is anybody asking for that?
Ice Cube.
Apart from
Quite
Ice
a
Cube?
lot,
Apart from
according
Ice
to
Cube?
this article in Deadline, has been pushing for a number of years,
Okay.
since about 2011,
Right.
for a 4th movie.
Okay.
Friday, just a classic, 1995. Next Friday was the year 2000. Friday after next, the 3rd one, 2002.
Oh wow. Okay, so that's been like 20 years.
And yes, New Line CCO revealed the news in an interview, and Ice Cube has since confirmed it that he's closed a deal for the 4th movie. Ice Cube's really happy about it. He co-wrote the first one. I like the first one's fine.
I don't.
The
I've
first
not
one's
seen
the
that
best
for-
one.
I've not seen them. For
It was a
years.
very university film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ice Cube said, I was in talks with New Line for a 4th movie as far back as 2011, but it just never happened. He said, I was a little hot because they had took so long. And it might not be the same because Tiny Lister has passed away. Quite a few of the other co-stars have passed away. And I thought for a time, we keep losing people and y'all keep dicking around. But he says, we've got to do it right or we shouldn't fuck with it.
Well, yeah, don't fuck with it then.
There you go. So Ice Cube's still around and it's happening.
It was a little hot in 2011. It's now 14 years later, and he's still like. Imagine how hot he is now. How old's Ice Cube?
I'm going to say 58.
55,
I went too.
if you can
too
believe
far.
Wikipedia.
Okay. More sequel news.
Yes, please.
I know you love a sequel.
I do.
How about a sequel to a movie that's not out yet?
Right.
Because I'm so confident are DreamWorks in the live action adaptation of How to Train Your Dragon, which comes out in June.
Okay.
They have greenlit the sequel.
Right.
Already.
Before it's even come out.
Yes. Universal.
It's brave.
DreamWorks. It's already got a release date.
What?
Yeah, already. The 11th of June, 2027.
Wow.
It's already booked in.
Deal. Okay. 2 years.
Same team, same director. Same director is directing this live action version who has directed the animated ones.
Oh, is it?
I don't think I've ever seen these movies.
I don't think I have.
And my kids have never been interested.
No, I
Because
don't think
there's
I've
3
ever
or
seen
4 of the
them.
animated
Yeah, there are,
ones,
yeah.
isn't there?
There's a few spin-offs as well, isn't
yeah.
there? And TV shows
TV
and
show.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Will you fancy the live action one?
I may as well.
Yeah, why not?
Is that in June, maybe?
Yeah, no, I've never seen them.
Yeah?
People love them, though.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
They're well respected.
Okay. talking of sequels,
Hmm.
one of the biggest sequels of all time,
Okay.
right? And I know we mentioned that this thing was doing great guns months ago because it is a sequel to a movie we have done on this show.
Okay.
I'm talking about Nature 2,
Yes.
which, how do we explain that we are a show called Bottom of the Stream? We watch movies that are lesser known.
Yep.
And you might not have heard of, but the sequel to a movie we did on the show is now the 5th highest grossing movie in the history of the world.
That's kind of mental. It makes me wonder if we maybe should not have done the original. But hey ho.
The movie we're talking about is Nature 2, which is an animated Chinese mythological movie.
Yes. The first one's awesome.
Yes, it's fantastic. And it is now pretty much the end of its cinematic run.
Okay.
And it has grossed $2.1 billion at the global box office.
That's insane.
Just behind the $2.2 billion that Titanic did. Now, and actually, technically, it probably would have beaten Titanic, but Titanic has had several re-releases since 1997. So, yeah, I mean, the only movies that have grossed more than this thing at the box office cinematically are 2 Avatars, Avengers Endgame, and Titanic.
That's mad, isn't
That's
it?
it.
That is mad.
Of all movies ever.
And you consider that in most countries in the world, this wouldn't get a cinematic release and hasn't had a cinematic release.
Yeah.
And yet, that must be making all of its money in, like, China.
In fact, there's a record there as well.
Okay.
Nature 2 is the first film in the history of the world to have grossed more than $2 billion in a single territory.
China.
Yeah.
So literally everybody in China's been to see this movie. Wow.
Do you want to know the budget of this thing?
Yep.
80 million. I'd say that's a good return.
That's pretty good. You got to be pretty happy with that.
Obviously, this is the highest grossing animated film of all time. And has had
great quiz question, because nobody'd ever get that right.
Yeah, it's a great pub quiz question.
It is. Nobody's ever getting that right.
Yeah. Astronomical numbers.
2 billion just in China and 2.2 billion overall.
Yeah.
That is astronomical. That's crazy.
There you go.
Technically, that is still a bottom of the stream movie. It's made
By our rules,
it's made $2 million.
Most people aren't aware of it.
Yeah.
Well, certainly of the first one.
Yeah.
I don't know if we could quite claim that for the second one. But
I don't know. If you ask the majority of people in the world, they wouldn't have heard of it.
No, in our
world.
bit of the world.
Yeah.
I don't know. The world's getting smaller.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who knows? Yeah, but insane numbers.
Yeah,
absolutely insane numbers.
Crazy.
That's all the news. Just one final bit of news, which is a sad bit of news, and that is the passing this week of Val Kilmer.
You just put him right behind your microphone.
Val Kilmer.
You're still not doing it right.
Val Kilmer.
Now you're creasing his face. Next got Val Kilmer on his shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, real sad news.
65. Obviously.
No age.
You know, health issues for a number of years.
Yeah.
Had throat cancer.
Yeah.
Battling the complications from that. I mean, what charisma?
Off the
Val
charts.
Kilmer's got it.
Yeah, off the charts.
Obviously had that reputation of being difficult to work with.
Yeah, but who doesn't?
Kind of a throwback movie star though. That sort of like bad boy.
Yeah.
You know, well, I'll take your pick. Top Gun, Willow. I tell you what, he's really underrated in.
Yeah.
Like Heat is one of the best cop movies of all time, and he's he's with Pacino and De Niro, and he's not out of place. He's great in that. Obviously, he was Batman in. Loads of people who like Batman Forever love Batman Forever.
Yeah,
and that was a huge movie.
Yeah.
And then so his final role ended up being his cameo in Top Gun Maverick.
Okay.
So
it's a real shame. He had a difficult last few years.
We'll always remember him for the super.
We will, as of this show.
Yeah.
God, he was bad in that.
That was not a good film.
That was not a good film.
But yeah, rest in peace, Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
You forgot that we watched the Super.
I'd forgot that I'd forgot that we'd watched the Super and that he was in it. Yeah. Difficult last few years, but rest in peace.
Okay.
Cool.
That's all the news.
Excellent. Have you watched anything? Good at the top of the stream?
Yeah, I've watched a couple of things. So
okay.
You started talking about this last week.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm talking about The Residence.
Okay. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that sounds up my street, and I think my wife would enjoy that as well. So we started that. I've got one episode left.
Me too. We've got to the same point.
Well, that's interesting. We can talk about it. So I think you're basically going to say the same thing. Sat down last night, think 2 episodes left, can get this finished, talk about it on the show.
Yeah.
The last episode is 90 minutes long.
I did exactly the same thing. I thought, I've got 2. I need to watch those and the film for this week's podcast.
Yeah.
I put it on at like 8 o'clock. The first 6 episodes finished at like 9:30. I was like, I've still got to watch this film. I haven't got another episode in me. And then it was like 90-minute episode for the finale. So yeah, unfortunately, I haven't finished it.
Me neither.
It might be my plan when we finish here tonight.
I hope it sticks the landing.
Me too.
Because I've so enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's really entertaining. She is fantastic in it.
Yeah.
She is so good in it.
I think that... I was going to say, I don't think this show happens if it's not for Knives Out and stuff. But...
It's kind of a parody of those sort of things.
It is a bit, yeah, it is.
Because one of the episodes is even called Knives Out.
Yes.
They're all the episodes are named after different whodunits.
Yeah.
And yeah, one of the episodes is even called Knives Out.
And I just think I've really enjoyed it. I really hope it sticks the landing. I think the cast is awesome. You know, some of the supporting cast, I think like I always do this, I can never remember his name.
Randall Park. He's great, and him and Uzo Aduba, they just spark. They're a really good double act, and I really hope if it comes back, both of them can. You've got to keep them both.
Come back and work together. I guess he's like the shit Dr. Watson to her Sherlock Holmes.
She's like super cop, and he's just like normal cop. Yeah. But it's making, because she's so good, it's making him look so bad.
And yeah, like the supporting cast was really good. So like Camerino, and I was really happy when Jason Lee turned up.
Yeah. You'd never see Jason Lee anywhere these days. He just doesn't appear anymore. I thought we'd cancelled Jason Lee, but apparently we haven't. He's just stopped working.
He's isn't he quite high up in Scientology?
He was, but apparently not anymore. Apparently he left years ago.
Oh right, okay.
But then never really. That's why he stopped acting, because he did get quite high in Scientology, but he disregarded it years ago. I looked him up.
Good on him.
Yeah, apparently he walked away from it.
So the plot of this thing is, I think we did talk about it last week, but so it's a detective trying to solve a murder.
Yep.
In the White House on the night of a state dinner.
Yes.
And basically that's it.
And Kylie Minogue's in it, just completely randomly.
And Hugh Jackman isn't in it.
Yes.
But he is in it. And we're no closer. Well, have you got an inkling? We've got 1 episode left. I've got no idea who's done it.
I've got an inkling who I think it might be, but I don't think I'm right.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But it could literally be anybody. It's like, it's really well kept secret.
The chemistry on it's just popping.
Yeah, it is. Everybody's great in it.
So yeah, it's a...
The set of the White House is really good as well, because you really do feel like they're in the White House.
Yeah.
Because you imagine that's exactly what it's like.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I think it's been great. The episodes are maybe a little bit too long, but there's a lot of stories.
Hence me saying I hope it sticks the landing, because this isn't a spoiler, but I thought the premise of we were going to get was so this murder happens in this banquet, and then everyone has to stay in the White House while she's investigating it.
Yeah.
I thought, right, this whole thing takes place over a night, and then just the last episode, I'm presuming, well, the penultimate episode and presumably the last episode, that shifted a little bit, and time moves on a bit, and I was just like, do I like that? I'm not sure. It needs to see how it finishes up.
I agree.
Yes, that might be my own criticism at the end of it. Am I going to go, oh, yeah, we didn't have to have the last 2 episodes being so long, but it's Netflix, that happens.
Yeah, it does.
This isn't the only show where that happens.
Feels like there's a lot of story left to be told in that 1 episode that we've got left. So we will report back next week.
Yeah, really good performances. And then I've finished Last One Laughing UK.
Same. I have as well. So yeah, I thought that was really good. Finale a little bit disappointing.
A little bit, but how do you end that? It's good.
Exactly.
I think it was interesting. I've read a few news stories on this week about how this is one of the few shows that Amazon have done that seems to be breaking through in terms of memes.
Yeah.
Clips on social media.
It's on every bus in London.
Yeah.
It's literally everywhere.
A cheap program that was shot over 6 hours.
Yeah.
And has more impact than spending
millions
100 billion on Lord of the Rings
yeah.
or whatever it was. And it's all down to the cast. This is the group of stand-up comedians who just have to try not to laugh.
So to stay in a room for 6 hours and don't laugh.
They've got to try and make each other laugh.
I was a little bit disappointed with the finale, I think. It came down to the two that it was always going to come down to.
Yeah.
And that neither of those two were ever going to break. So the show had to
force an ending. A showdown.
Yes, yeah. And they obviously didn't want to draw.
Yeah.
And so they needed to get Jimmy Carr in there and get something happening between these two. And eventually he does break one of them down. But it was still hilarious the way they did it. It just felt a little bit forced at the end, which was a shame. But
we're going to get loads of this. I mean,
there's already loads.
No, I know there is from other countries and stuff, but I think this.
Yeah,
Amazon will quickly
speed round to the next series.
Smash another season or two out of this thing.
But you're really going to struggle to match that cast.
Yeah.
Because that is 10 of the most famous comedians in the country.
But then you've also got a couple of the ones who went out early. You're almost like,
put them back in.
Yeah, also because I've seen them.
Let's do Sarah Pascoe again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Joe Lycett, not because he was bad, because I like him and I think he's funny, but he didn't have as much screen time.
Yeah, because
of how the show
he left too early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'd like to get Jimmy Carr in that room because I don't think he'd be any good at it.
No, he'd be rubbish. He always hosts this sort of thing. He never puts himself out there, does he? No. Because he can't read a script if he's just in the room.
Exactly. So. Very true.
Anyway, I'm sure I've read something else, watched something else, but I can't for the life of me remember.
Okay.
So if it comes back to me, I will mention it.
We'll mention it next week. But as soon as we finish recording, you'll remember.
Probably, yeah.
I've only watched those two things that you've also watched. I don't think I've watched anything else. But I did go to London at the weekend and I watched Stage Fright, the Inside Number 9 stage show.
Yes.
So that was excellent.
Good.
I was going to say, if you can go and watch it, go and watch it. And then I thought, I can't say that because it finishes literally this weekend. That's the end of its run. But then they announced on this week that it's going on tour around the country.
Of course it is.
So you can go and watch it if you want. So, and I would highly recommend doing so. It is, if you like Inside Number 9, it's brilliant. So the first half is like an expanded episode. One of the episodes. They take one of the episodes and kind of expand on it, merge in some of the characters from another episode. And then the second half is a completely original, basically, I guess, episode. Yeah. Where they're telling this story that's kind of about the theatre that they're in. Okay. But also, so it's a little bit meta. It's like live with the actual theatre they're in. And then, but also we're telling this like other story as well. It was excellent. It was so good. It was funny. It was a little bit scary at times. Yeah. You know, like when a theatre show starts and the audience are just like chatting away. Yeah. Then the lights will dim and the curtain will rise and that's how you start a theatre show. The audience were chatting away and then suddenly the lights just went off. There was a scream and then the show started. Nice. So it's like they started with a jump scare and everybody literally shit themselves because nobody even knew it was coming. So that was really good. You get a celebrity guest in every episode. Cool. Every episode, every performance has a different celebrity cameo. Yeah. We had Brian Cox. Yeah. The professor, not the actor. Not the actor, even though they did make that joke on stage, obviously. So, and that's all improvised, his scene. So he doesn't know what's coming, and you can tell that he didn't know what was going on. They didn't really know what was going on. And he did actually break Reece Shearsmith a couple of times, which was funny. So if you get a chance to go and see it on the tour, 100% go and check it out. It's brilliant. It's really good. Those two are so good. Yeah. I really hope they do something else. Because all of their shows are finished now.
I think they probably would.
I think so.
At some point.
I think so. I think it'll be a while away because obviously now they've got some stuff in the irons, I'm sure. But yeah, check it out. It's good. Brilliant.
Awesome.
And go to London. London's so good. I had a great time in London.
Oh, good. Good. I'm glad.
This is me recommending London. Okay. Yeah. Just as a thing.
I think it's quite well known.
Yeah.
Most people have probably heard of it.
Yeah.
What else did you do when you were down?
We went to Spitalfields Market on Sunday morning. That was nice. Had some breakfast there.
Good.
Had a really nice donut.
Good.
We sat out in the sun with just t-shirts on. It was great. It was a lovely day.
Excellent.
So that was nice. And then we made our way back. So,
lovely.
It's not so nice after dark. We went to McDonald's. That was like we went to McDonald's after the show.
Yeah.
That was
Nothing
like,
else. Yeah.
That was not fun.
Yeah. That is you know, like the cantina in Star Wars.
Yes, yeah.
Like that's what a McDonald's is like
after dark.
After dark, especially on a weekend.
Well, the seating area was closed, so it was takeaway only.
Yeah.
McDonald's have somehow managed to make their business the most chaotic business in the world now because everybody's just shouting numbers all over the shop, and there was lots of drunk people about, and it was like, this is weird.
I was in one in December in Blackpool at about 9:30.
Yeah, so you know exactly the sort of thing that we was going.
My God, there were some sights.
Yeah,
that was the last time I experienced that.
We were on the Strand, and it was packed, and it was just chaos, and there's people shouting, and they'd got security guards on the door. It was. I wouldn't recommend that part of London, but the rest of it's nice. But I don't think I've watched anything else. I think that's it.
Okay, good. Good.
Yeah, it is. Right. What's next?
We should talk a little bit about the movie that we are watching.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
On Thursday on our podcast, and then I am going to do a game.
Okay.
That I have that is related to said movie a little bit.
Okay.
And the movie we are talking about
on
Thursday is called Retreat.
Retreat.
Which is a wild card pick.
Yep.
From our Patreon Sam. And it's a thriller?
Thriller. British thriller.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
It's not a horror movie.
No, I don't think it is.
It's a thriller.
And Sam usually is very strong at playing his wild card.
He certainly has a type when it comes to wild cards.
So I'm interested to talk about this.
If you've heard us talk about any of Sam's wild cards before.
And I think it's fair to say,
it's going to be.
Although it's it's quite an old movie now.
Yeah, 2011.
2011. It is not a well-known movie. It's
the
bottom of the stream. That's what we do. It stars 3 well-known actors. Yeah, pretty big stars, especially for what we're used to seeing on this show most of the time. Cillian Murphy.
Yes. Cillian Murphy added to the list of Oscar winners that have been on the show.
Yeah.
Not many.
Tandy Newton.
Yes.
And Jamie Bell.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty much all that's in it as well.
Yes.
I think there's a couple of other
it's a triple header.
Yeah.
So I've prepared a small game.
Okay.
Are you familiar with the game Two Truths and a Lie?
Yes.
That's what we're playing.
Okay.
Retreat edition.
Right. Okay.
Okay. I play this game with my kids a lot.
Yeah.
And
I bet they're quite good at it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, until one of them just tells 2 totally normal truths and one absolutely ridiculous lie. Yeah. Like, I invented the telephone or something.
Bearing in mind you've known these 2 kids their entire lives.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So we're going to play that game.
Okay.
Once for each star.
Right. So it's 3 facts about each star, and I've got to guess which one's not right.
Correct.
Okay.
Which one do you want to start with?
Tandy Newton, please.
Okay. So yes, 2 truths and a lie. You just got to find a lie. That's all you've got to do.
Okay.
Okay, Tandy Newton. Her mother is a princess of the Shona tribe from Zimbabwe.
Right.
She was a contestant on Countdown in 1988 at the age of 16.
Right.
She has a daughter named after Sigourney Weaver's alien character, Ripley.
Wow, that's tough.
They're not going to be easy.
They're not easy, and I don't know a lot about Tandy Newton. I'm not going to lie. She was on Countdown when she was 16. Her mum's a queen in a tribe in Zimbabwe. Princess, sorry. And what was the third one?
She has a daughter named after Sigourney Weaver's character in Alien.
That sounds the most plausible. Actor, probably a famous movie, favourite movie. So I'm going to say that one's probably true. I don't think she was... I don't think she was on Countdown when she was 16.
You have successfully found the lie.
The other one seemed too extreme to be wrong. You know what I mean? You had the name of the tribe and everything.
You are correct.
Awesome. Wow,
good start. Who do you want to go to next?
Cillian Murphy, please.
Okay. Same. 2 truths and a lie.
Okay.
Just hunt the lie. Cillian Murphy is vegan.
Okay.
In his 20s, he was in a band called the Sons of Mr. Green Jeans and turned down a 5-album deal from Acid Jazz Records.
Acid Jazz.
Mm.
Okay.
Or in his spare time, he has refurbished a steamroller which he often drives around his sprawling estate in Ireland.
Right. Okay. Now, I don't know a lot about Cillian Murphy, but I feel like he's quite eccentric.
I think I would have that perception.
Oh, I think the steamroller one might be true. Is a vegan. Everybody's a vegan these days.
Yeah, true.
What was the second fact?
He was in his 20s.
He
was in a band called the Sons of Mr. Green Jeans and turned down a 5-album deal from Acid Jazz Records.
I don't think he's a vegan.
Oh, have you played the system here?
Maybe.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
He is a vegan.
He is a vegan.
Yeah. Although, interestingly, in my research,
Okay.
I found that he became unvegan
Right.
when he got the role in Peaky Blinders because his trainer or whatever said, no,
You need to
eat meat to
bulk
bulk up. But he is back on the vegan train.
again. Okay. So you can't bulk up and be a vegan?
Well,
Not easily.
People have different opinions on that. Anyway, we're going off track. So the lie is that he hasn't refurbished a steamroller.
He hasn't.
And rides it around his estate, to my knowledge.
You made that up?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a random thing to make up.
Yeah, well, I thought a steamroller was like a bit too eccentric.
I guess he's probably not even got an estate, has he? What am I even
I have
thinking?
no idea. Okay, you're 50-50.
Okay.
Jamie Bell.
Okay. This kid's been around forever. I feel like I know a lot about him.
Yeah. I mean, I've learned some stuff
Okay.
about him. Maybe because I've not really thought about or looked into this guy. Jamie Bell. So, 2 truths, 1 lie, find a lie. Jamie Bell is married to his Fantastic Four co-star, Kate Mara.
Okay.
Jamie Bell is from Middlesbrough and he has a tattoo of Brazilian footballer Juninho on his thigh.
Okay.
Or Jamie Bell's favourite drink is Yazoo banana milkshake.
Oh, this is crazy. All 3 of those are completely implausible.
Implausible?
Yes.
Well, 2 of them are true, mate.
Mate, he mated me again. That's 2 weeks in a row. His favourite drink is banana Yazoo.
Yeah.
If I was going to pick a Yazoo flavour, that'd be mine too. Although I think
I'm not a milkshake fan.
I'm a milkshake fan, but Yazoo's a bit too creamy.
Is it more milky?
It's creamier.
Oh, is it?
Quite
It's quite thick.
Yeah. And I don't really.
What
like
are the
that.
flavours? Chocolate,
banana, strawberry. I guess.
Right. Okay.
There might be a vanilla one. He's married to Kate Mara. That feels like he could be correct. He's married to somebody, I'm sure. And he's not got a tattoo of Juninho on his leg, has he? But he might have. I think it's the milkshake one. I think that's the lie.
So, according to BuzzFeed,
Right.
Yazoo banana milkshake is Jamie Bell's favourite drink.
I was thinking, how do you know that?
He is
Of course
married
BuzzFeed.
to Kate Mara.
Right, and he hasn't got a tattoo.
They
of
have
Juninho.
2 children. To my knowledge, although he is from Middlesbrough,
Yeah.
he does not have a tattoo of Juninho on his thigh.
Your mind works in really weird ways sometimes.
It was
Middlesbrough footballer, Juninho. I
It
get
was
it.
the easiest place to go from Middlesbrough.
All I could think of was how does he know that his favourite milkshake is? I can't imagine Jamie Bell drinking a milkshake.
Drinking a Yazoo. Jenkins goes to the fridge, then the
It's on his rider,
the
Jerry.
door is just full of banana Yazoos.
I do like a banana milkshake. Madonna's banana milkshake is the best. You're not beating it.
I'm not a milkshake guy.
No.
I like milk. I think
I
like chocolate. I love chocolate, but I don't like anything chocolate flavored.
I'm like
really.
that. I'm exactly like that. I don't like hot chocolate or
No.
anything. Yeah. I went through a real stage of drinking banana Nesquik.
Right. So like the
It
powder.
was my real the powder just mixed into milk. And then I had one and the powder wouldn't dissolve.
Oh right, it just
and
clagged.
It was claggy at the bottom.
Yeah.
And ever since that one drink, I've not been able to drink it since.
Oh.
So it's cured me. And I've got some downstairs, but I just can't face it. So it just won't dissolve now. I don't know if they've changed the recipe or what, but no matter what you do, you always end up with sediment at the bottom. It's horrible.
Yeah, you don't want that. It's like when a tea bag bursts in your
Yeah.
tea.
It's exactly like that.
Blech.
I did pretty badly there.
Oh, you started well. I thought you got the trickiest. I thought the
I don't know
Tandy
anything
Newton
about
ones were
Tandy
the
Newton.
trickiest ones.
And I was like, there she is, getting the right one.
Right. What do I know?
That was a good game, though. You should do that more often.
That's quite easy to adapt for other stars.
Well, I don't know.
If
we don't
have
see many
enough
stars.
stars in the movie.
Oh, imagine if you just did them for 3 random people who are in a random bottom of the stream movie.
I think. What do you know about
researching it would be difficult.
What do you know about these 3 people from Still Today?
Yeah, they've only made this one film ever. I've found some facts about them.
I've called this game 3 Lies, No Truth.
Yeah, this guy has no Wikipedia page, but I've managed to find some facts. Cool. Okay.
Nice.
Good game. Well done. Right. We should probably get out of here. We've done another hour again.
Lovely.
So go out and watch. What's that film called? Retreat. Not The Retreat. Not Our Retreat. Just Retreat. Yeah. Go out and watch that. We'll be back here next Monday for another episode of Bottom of the Stream with Adam and Nick. And every Thursday our podcast comes out, and that is about films and stuff.
It's the movie show.
The movie show.
Bottom of the Stream movie show.
So yeah, go out, do all that. Like and subscribe. Tell your nan. Tell all your friends. Be nice on social media. We've had some of that this week.
Just be nice.
Don't be a troll. It's great. Do all of that, and then we'll be back whenever we're back. We're always back.
Cheers.
Bye.